Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel Platinum Bricks 95, and we're back again with another Lego Marvel review. Firstly, just before we do get into the video, if you would not mind liking the video, as it really helps the channel out, helps me get on the YouTube algorithm, and just shows you enjoy this sort of content. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind liking the video, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're watching the channel and you're not subscribed, maybe think about clicking that subscribe button, but if you don't want to, I totally understand. So then guys, what Lego Marvel set are we reviewing today? Well, obviously, due to it being April the 1st, about a week ago or whenever it was, new Lego Marvel sets came out and we're finally getting round to reviewing the big one, yay! So guys, I'm going to try and hold this in a position where I and the box are in shot, but I don't think it's going to happen, so I'll sort of hold it like this. Anyway, the Lego set in question is Lego set number 76255, the new Guardians ship, retailing in England for £89.99 and coming with 1,108 pieces, 5 minifigures, 4 of them being unique. So guys, I'm actually really excited to talk about this Lego set today because it's sort of the third ship that we've got from Marvel that's sort of a display piece, and I'll show you what I mean. It comes with a stand that you can stand it on, and I'm thinking in my next video, or not next video, maybe the one after, but probably my next video, I'm actually going to do a comparison of all 3 of them. So yeah, you'll see what I mean when we get into the review. So guys, speaking of the review, I guess the only thing left to do is get right into it. And of course, we're going to start with the minifigures. Let's go. Alright then guys, well here are the minifigures in question, as you can see here. Now, 4 of them are unique, and we will start by showing you the one that isn't unique. But yeah, I did just want to give you a little closer look at what they actually look like, sort of, before we get into reviewing them. But I guess we'll get right into reviewing the first one, and like I said, we'll start with the non-unique one. So then guys, the first of the minifigures, and the one that unfortunately isn't unique, is in fact Star-Lord. And the reason he's not unique is because he comes in the smallest set from this wave, the Guardians of the Galaxy Headquarters, or Lego set number 76253. But yeah, before any of the other minifigures show up, and before, if you haven't watched any of the other reviews, you've got to know by now, I absolutely love these new blue suits for the Guardians. I just think they're really good. And yeah, I actually really prefer them to the maroon ones. Don't get me wrong, I like the maroon ones, but I just think this navy blue and red works really, really well together. Now, again, I did say in my other review, so I won't go crazy with it here, his guns are now silver as opposed to dark grey or dark silver, whatever you did want to call them. And yeah, it's just a nice Star-Lord minifigure, and of course he does have the standard hairpiece and does have a dual moulded head where he looks happier on one side and a bit more menacing on the other. But as the other one's set up nicely, I'm going to set this one up a bit more mean looking. But yeah, a very nice minifigure, and the only one that isn't unique. So you've got to give the set credit there, because already there's 4 unique minifigures. So yeah, this being the only one that's not unique, you won't hear many complaints from me. So then guys, the next minifigure that does in fact come with this set is Mantis. Yes, it is Pom Klementieff, or Mantis if you prefer. Now, genuinely, Mantis has had either 2 or 3 unique minifigures already that have come out with Guardian sets or Avengers sets or whatever it was. But yeah, this version of Mantis is basically the same as those, except she's had her torso and legs changed. However, if you compare her to Star-Lord, she is exactly the same. The torso and legs are exactly the same, and I suppose that is one bad thing, that all of them have the same torso and legs, but it was like that with Avengers Endgame, so I guess I can't complain too much. But yeah, like I said, I love the fact they're all in uniforms, and I think they look really cool, and I think Mantis always looks cool. I mean, who doesn't love this hairpiece? I just think it's awesome. So yeah, Mantis is very nice, and I think, oh, don't pull her off the stand, just pull her hair off. Right, we'll pull her hair off, there we go. And she does in fact have a dual moulded face, where she looks a bit more angry. I don't think I've ever seen Mantis look that angry in an MCU film. But it is what it is. Maybe she'll be angry in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But yeah, a nice minifigure nonetheless. So then guys, the next minifigure to appear in this LEGO set is in fact Nebula. Now this is the third version of Nebula I own. Now don't get me wrong, I got the one from Endgame, so she's got an Endgame suit on, and I have one from the original first Guardians of the Galaxy wave. So yeah, and since then, her face has got a lot lighter. In the earlier sets, she was much more sort of royal blue, but I actually like the use of light blue, I won't lie here. My favourite thing about this minifigure though is the cybernetic arm. I think it works really well, and I like that she has a touch of something different when compared to everyone else in their suits. So yeah, a really nice minifigure, and again, I can't understate how much I love her headpiece. I think it's brilliant. Just like the next person you're going to see. A brilliant headpiece, but yeah, really good actually. And I do prefer the light look to the dark look. So yeah, credit where credit's due. So guys, the penultimate minifigure is in fact my second ever version of Drax. Now I'm not one of the lucky few who got the early Guardians of the Galaxy set or who got all of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 sets. I didn't manage to get any of those. So it is a bit of a shame because, well, I've only got two versions of Drax. One came out this year, one came out at the back end of last year with the LEGO Guardians of the Galaxy Advent Calendar. So yes, I don't own many Draxes, which is probably why I absolutely love him. I love his headpiece. Yes, alright, ignore him from the head down, shoulder down, because he's exactly the same as Star-Lord and Mantis and Nebula, but minus her arm. But yeah, a very nice minifigure nonetheless, and like I did say with Nebula, and I will I will say it here as well, I absolutely love Drax's headpiece, and I think, yeah, it's just a nice minifigure, and again, I know I keep saying all of the uniforms are the same, and they are, but again, I quite like them all looking the same, so yeah, you won't hear any complaints from me, and I just think Drax is gorgeous, to be honest. Alright then guys, well, on to the final figure, Mr. Gold. No, it's not Mr. Gold. It is in fact Adam Warlock, or if you're from England like me and grew up in the sort of 2010s and sort of 2000s, Will Poulter is what this guy is, genuinely, because he used to be in a TV show that was on Channel 4 years ago. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's take a look at this gorgeous minifigure. Okay, so straight away, anyone who watches the channel knows that I don't really like gold. However, here, I'll make an exception because I do think this is a very cool minifigure and I love the attention to detail. So yeah, a pretty cool minifigure in my opinion. And of course, he does in fact come with a dual molded head. And this is the one everyone seems to set him up with. But I prefer the sterner look, to be honest with you. And I'm assuming, I don't know if you're picking that up, I think you can just see, especially if I tilt it like that, if you look dead center in his face, you can see that gem which is meant to be an infinity stone but not an actual infinity stone but something like an infinity stone. And anyone who doesn't know anything about Adam Warlock, I'll give you a little bit of history here. This is the guy that in the comic books beat Thanos. Okay, it wasn't Iron Man like it was in the MCU. This is the guy who ended up with the Infinity Gauntlet and could control it, okay? This geezer is powerful. I almost swore there, but he is powerful. Now, he's almost like a reverse Iron Man with his colour scheme in the sense that he's sort of maroon and gold, but much more gold than maroon. But I guess I kind of like that, and I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of gold, like I did just say, but I do like this and I love the attention to detail, so I'll give it credit there. However, I could see why a lot of people would get really excited and be like, this is my favourite minifigure from the new wave. I don't know if it's my favourite. I think it's definitely the best, but whether it's my favourite or not, I don't know. But yeah, a very nice minifigure. I will give it credit there. Alright then guys, well those were the minifigures that do come with this set. Get down in the comments and let me know which one is your favourite. I think for me it's a toss up between Drax and Nebula, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, I've showed you the minifigures now. The only thing left to look at is the LEGO set itself, so I guess we'll get right into it. Let's go! So then guys, here is the new Guardian ship, the Lego set in question. Now, as you can see, straight off the bat, I've had to change where I'm filming because I want to get this and sort of give it justice, really, because regardless of anything else I say about play features and this, that, and the other, this Lego set looks gorgeous, and I absolutely love the colour scheme. Now, I'm going to give it a little spin round so you can sort of see what it looks like from every angle. And I'm trying to think of what science fiction ship it does remind me of, but honestly, nothing springs to mind right now. But it is what it is. It is a very nice ship. Now guys, I will take you in for a closer look. Don't worry about that. You will get to see absolutely everything. But I did just want to say, like I said, I wanted to show you just how nice this ship does in fact look. Now, don't get me wrong. I think, you'll see in my comparison video that comes out, so I'll save it for that. But yeah, a very nice ship nonetheless. But I guess the only thing left to do is to take you in for a closer look and talk about everything going on in this ship. Alright then guys, this is the cockpit area. As you can see here, it does lift up. Now I will say this, it fitted when I was building it. It's a very weird way this is all clicked together, but it's worked very well. And as you can see in there is in fact a cockpit. And I think you could maybe fit 2, maybe at a push 3 people in there. So actually somewhat decent because you can actually fit stuff in there, which isn't always the case when it comes to, ships in Lego in general. I'll talk about these side pieces in a little while, but yeah, in terms of the cockpit, very nice. Now I will lift it off and flip it round in a little bit so you can get an idea of what's going on underneath. But if you just do take a look at this, you can just see the scale of this thing. It's not small, all right? Don't be walking around thinking it's small compared to the Avengers Quinjet and the Benatar that we've already got for the Guardians of the Galaxy. This Lego set is pretty sizable, and I will give it credit there. And again, I don't like turquoise as a rule, like genuinely. But this, I just think it suits the Guardians to the ground. So yeah, I will give it credit there. Now, when it comes to the rings, there's not too much going on. I mean, this is probably about as much functionality as you will get out of the rings. I love the designs here. I love the fact that you do have to build 7 of these, as you can see, sort of this. They're built on 2x6 plates, and you do have to build 7 of them. But it makes the ring look really clean, and I do actually really like that. Now, I will straight away say, all right, guys, everything you can see that looks like it's printed isn't. It is in fact a sticker, but you can't expect that with sets this big. Actually, fair play, because with a set this big, you could have put so many more stickers on, and they haven't. So I will give it credit there. But yeah, like I said with the rings, all you can really do is do this, do that. These are quite nice, but again, this is a sticker. I do like it though, but it is a sticker. And then these do in fact have functionality, and in fact, all 4 of them do have functionality in that regard. However, exactly the same thing on the ring down below. It's exactly the same, okay guys? You basically have to build 2 of them and click them onto that hub bit there, which is fine, but again, it is just a repeated build down the bottom, and there isn't actually a crazy amount of playability with this Lego set. It is very much built to be a display piece. It's not like the Benatar. Well, the Benatar wasn't even that played really. It was the Avengers Quinjet, the one that came out in January, that had a lot more playability to it than any of these other ships so far. So yeah, there isn't so much to do here, but it is what it is. Now, if you do come down here, I did like this feature. Well, that's not meant to break off, is it? Right? I do like this feature here. Now, again, I might have to take it off and flip it round, so bear with me for a second. Right, the ship is in fact upside down right now, and you can actually see. So basically, Drax or someone will sit here and they will drop out like that. So when the ship is upright, like it's meant to be, so sort of round like this, he will drop out from under there. I'm not doing the best job of showing you that feature, but yeah, trust me when I say that's what it does. So guys, I figured I'd just quickly, before we talk about the other bits on the ship, I'd give you a quick look at the stand, and it is exactly the same as the stand that the Quinjet stands on. It's not quite as heavy duty as the one for the Benatar. The Benatar one well, I think it's just a bit bigger in general. So yeah, it's not as sturdy as that one, but it's still exactly the same as the one that came with the Quinjet. And if it isn't broken, don't fix it. And I genuinely think that it works pretty well. So yeah, this is the stand that it stands on. Okay then guys, just very quickly, I did want to in fact show you the bits on the side, and this does work for both of them on the side. As you can see here, they do in fact click on just in here, down here. Now again, the connection works very well for one of these because there's a right, it's hard to explain, but anyone who you know what I'm talking about. Basically, one of these is the right connection for this piece, a click-in bit, but then one isn't, so it's easy to get them on and off. And they are used as sort of like flying platforms almost. You sit in them and you can put them like this, and it even shows you on the box someone using this as something to fly around in. So yeah, these are like little accessory ships to some extent. And again, they do in fact just sort of slide on and click in there like that. Only one connection though, but it, see what I mean? It holds it in space. But yeah, if you grab this too vigorously, okay, these things might break off, but genuinely, as far as a Lego set goes, it doesn't actually break nearly as badly as you think it would. Okay guys, I just wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like when it's sort of off the stand and freestanding. As you can see here, it's nice, it's just difficult to handle. I won't lie to you guys, it's a struggle to sort of hold it. I guess you could hold it like that and go like that, but in general, it's like, and see what I mean, bits, it's flimsy, okay? I don't want you going in thinking it's like some big structurally sound amazing Lego set, because it is an amazing Lego set, but what it is not is structurally sound. Now, it is flimsy in places and bits do break off, but not as bad as you would think. You would think with a Lego set like this, you've got to look at it and it would break. But it's not like that. So I will give it credit there. But yeah, in general, this is what it looks like when it is freestanding. Sort of like that, I guess. Alright then guys, well there you have it. That was a closer look at Lego set number 76255, the new Guardian ship. So we've showed you the minifigures, we've showed you the ship. So all we need to do now is get into my pros and cons and rating out of 10. So without further ado, that's where we're going now. Alright then guys, like I did just say, that was somewhat of a review and closer look at this Lego set, but we'll save the proper pros and cons for the pros and cons, which is what is coming now. And I think today we're going to start with the cons actually. Okay guys, so I had a little think about what the cons should actually be, and I am actually struggling to think of some, but don't worry, I've got a few. Con number one is, I'm going to be honest guys, this isn't a toy, okay? I know it's marketed as a toy, I know it's meant to be a toy, it's not a toy, okay? It's definitely a display piece, and that is exactly what it is. It's not a toy, and that's fine, but again, you can't market it as a toy. It is for 10 plus, and you will not get a lot of playability out of this. It is just for display. And yeah, in my opinion, it should have more play features and have more playability, but it really doesn't, okay? It has everything I showed you, and literally that is it. So yeah, it's not really a toy, and that is my first con. Con number two is something that isn't as bad as I thought it would be with this Lego set, but it is still annoying, and it's something I always comment on. Bits break off, okay? Yes, these bits here do break off. If you grab this too vigorously, bits will break off. These are on there, like I said, but they do fall off, and if you're not careful with how you handle this, you grab it too vigorously, things will break. And it is very annoying, but again, I guess that's part of the Lego set, but yeah, bits do break off. Okay guys, so third and final con might actually contradict something I say in my pros, but I feel like they could have done a bit more up here. Now this is very nitpicky of me, and again, I'm not entirely sure if it's in shot, so I will show you here. So these bits up here, I would have really liked them to also be turquoise and sort of have shielding and sort of bits on the side like it does here, but it doesn't. And it kind of bums me out, actually. I would much prefer it to be completely turquoise. And again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't tell you if this is accurate or not. It might be from the trailer, but by the time I built this, I hadn't watched the trailer for like a month, so I don't actually know. But yeah, I could have done with a little bit more up here, but I am just being nitpicky. So guys, on to the bit I actually enjoy doing, the pros, and I've got to start with number one, completely contradict what I did just say. Like I said, malnourished here, however the rest of it is absolutely aesthetically gorgeous. I mean, for a man who absolutely hates turquoise, and I mean I hate turquoise, I don't think it's a good colour. I always see it mixed with orange and magenta pink as well a lot of the time, and they're so offensive colours. They're so boom in your face. However, I actually really like this, and maybe it is something to do with the fact that you don't get a lot of things completely built out of turquoise, so maybe that's playing into it. But yeah, for me, I absolutely love how it looks, and I just think it looks like a cool spaceship regardless of the colour. So yeah, aesthetic looks would be number one. Number two, in my pros, minifigures. Okay, very, very good selection of minifigures. Now, yes, it's not my favourite wave from this year by a country mile because they are all wearing the same suits. However, again, accurate to the movie, I'm assuming, even though I haven't seen it yet, but I am assuming that they all wear these suits, and that is why they're, well, like this in minifigure form, really. But yeah, I do really like the minifigs here. And I love the fact we're getting the Drax and the Nebula and Mantis and our very first Adam Warlock. But the other ones are not that frequent minifigures, so I'm very happy to get new versions of them. Okay guys, so my third and final pro may or may not contradict my first con, depending on how I word it. Now, in my cons, my first con, I said that this is a display piece, not a toy. And that is true, and it is bad because it's marketed as a toy. However, for me, I love the fact it's a display piece, okay guys? That is my third pro. I love this, all right? I love it. It's going to go next to my Benatar, and it's going to go next to my Quinjet, okay? And we will be doing a comparison video like I do keep on saying. And yeah, I just think it's really cool, and I could do with way more of these from the MCU, or just Marvel in general. It doesn't have to be MCU ones, it can be Marvel ones. I like this, okay? Yes, would I love to collect all of the Star Wars spaceships? Yes, I would. But there's no point, because in a year's time, if you Google right now, I bet you there'll be more than one TIE Fighter on sale, okay? And that's the thing. What I like about this is it's a new, unique ship, and it's really well displayed and a beautiful display piece. And whilst, again, it's marketed as a toy, which is why it was in my cons, I like the fact it's a display piece, so I'm going to give it credit there. So then guys, the only thing left to do is give this Lego set a rating out of 10, and I've got a number in mind, okay guys? It is without a shadow of a doubt an 8 out of 10, okay guys? Now, an argument could be made for a 9 out of 10, but 9 out of 10s on this channel are basically 10 out of 10 Lego sets that I don't love, do you know what I mean? But I can more appreciate that it's an amazing Lego set, a bit like with the Benatar or the Avenger. I'm not sure what I give the Avenger, and I haven't actually reviewed the Benatar yet, but I probably gave the Avenger a 9, and whilst that means it is an amazing Lego set, it's not one of my personal favourites, alright? 10 out of 10s are reserved for amazing Lego sets. However, this is getting an 8 out of 10, as I do just think it's just off being a brilliant Lego set, okay? It needs to be a bit more going on in terms of playability and definitely actual play features, but like the handling of this ship is annoying. So if you're going to play with it as a kid and you want to run it, it will break. And I don't like that. So yeah, I can't give it higher than an 8, but I can't give it lower than an 8 because it's genuinely beautiful. Look at it. Look at how beautiful it is. So yeah, definitely worthy of an 8 out of 10. Alright then guys, well that is the end of the review. All that's left to do is ask you to please like the video, maybe sub to the channel if you're not subbed already, and get down in the comments. Let me know, number 1, which is the best minifigure, number 2, what you think of this Lego set, and number 3, if you've already bought this Lego set or if you're planning on buying this Lego set, because I'd actually be quite interested to sort of know if you're going to buy this, because I imagine a lot of people will buy this just for what it looks like. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. So guys, just quickly before we do go, if you would not mind going down in the description and checking out my Instagram and TikTok. I'm posting daily on Instagram at the moment, just loads of photos of Lego Marvel stuff. So if you want to go and check that out, I really would appreciate it. And while you're there, might as well have a little look at my TikTok as well. Alright then guys, well there you have it. That is the end of the video. I've just ruined the audio there, but it is in fact the end of the video. All that's left to say is thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support on the channel. I think I'm like 6 subs away from 750 subs. So definitely drop me a sub if you're not subbed already. I'll add that in here. And yeah, I guess all that's left to say is I'll see you in the next video. Good